Please. My life is falling apart. He begged. I need you. I looked at him. Truly looked at him for the first time in years. Is my absence too stressful for you? I asked calmly. Is it a turn-off? The shock on his face was everything I needed to see. Hey Reddit. I'm really struggling and I don't have anyone else to talk to about this. So I'm kinda just throwing this out into the void. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years. He's my best friend. The person I tell everything to. And honestly, the love of my life. But he slept with 3 other women since we got together. The first time was a long time ago. Right when we were starting out. The most recent time was last year. And it's the one that's breaking me. It was the night of my 21st birthday. I woke up that morning so excited. You know, it's a big milestone. But his side of the bed was empty. I figured, okay, maybe he ran out to grab me a surprise breakfast or a gift he forgot to wrap. I texted him, but got no reply. Noon rolled around, and I started getting that tight feeling in my chest. I called him, and it went straight to voicemail. My friends had planned a whole night out for me. I spent hours getting ready, all while trying to convince myself there was a perfectly good explanation. I must have checked my phone 100 times at dinner, trying to hide it from everyone. I pasted on a smile, took the shots, and tried to pretend I was having the time of my life. But all I could think was, where is he? I got home around 2 a.m., sobered up, and just sat on the couch in the dark. At 4 a.m., I finally heard his keys fumbling at the door. He stumbled in, blind drunk. He could barely walk in a straight line. And the first thing that hit me wasn't the smell of alcohol, but the smell of perfume. It was this cheap, sickly sweet floral scent that was all over his jacket. It wasn't mine. My heart just dropped. I didn't even scream. I just looked at him. And he knew. He couldn't even meet my eyes. He just slumped against the wall and started mumbling. I'm so sorry. I messed up. He didn't try to deny it. But when I pushed him on who it was, he swore it was nobody. Just some random girl from the bar. He said. It was a stupid mistake. It meant nothing. I love you. He cried. He begged. He told me I was his world and that he couldn't live without me. And looking at this person that had spent 4 years building a life with, I couldn't imagine my life without him either. It felt like a choice between my entire world falling apart or accepting this one. Horrible. Drunken mistake. So I forgave him. I took him back. I really thought that was the worst of it. I thought we were healing and moving on from that awful night. But I recently found out the truth. And it's so much worse than a random, one-time mistake. I feel like I'm losing my mind. What would you guys have done in that moment? Would you have believed him? For a while, things almost went back to normal. We were healing. He was extra attentive, always checking in, bringing me flowers. It felt like we were working through it. And I clung to the idea that his drunken mistake on my birthday was a rock-bottom moment that we could build back up from. I wanted to believe him so badly. I now know that the entire year of rebuilding was built on a lie. I found out last week. A close friend of mine was out for drinks with one of her friends. A girl who works at the same company as my boyfriend. They were just talking, sharing office gossip. When my boyfriend's name came up, my friend mentioned he and I were together. And her friend got this really weird, hesitant look on her face. She said something like, "Oh, wow. I didn't know he was in a serious relationship." When my friend asked her what she meant, the story came out. The woman he slept with on my 21st birthday wasn't some random girl at a bar. It was one of his work colleagues. A woman he sees every single day. My brain just short-circuited when my friend told me. This wasn't a random, 9 a million chance encounter. This was someone in his life. Someone he probably has inside jokes with. Someone he eats lunch near. The lie was so calculated. He didn't just lie about the cheating. He built an entire false narrative around it to make it seem less intentional. Less personal. He knew that random girl was a story I could eventually swallow. But work colleague he sees every day was a different kind of poison. But that wasn't even the worst part. My friend's friend then said, "Yeah. Everyone at the office just assumes they have a thing. It's not the first time they've hooked up." My blood ran cold. The very first time he cheated on me. About 2 years ago. The story was so vague. He was on a work trip. He drank too much. He made a mistake. I never pushed for details because I didn't want to know. Suddenly, The pieces clicked into place with this horrible, sickening clarity. It was her. It was always her. This isn't a story about 3 separate mistakes with 3 random women. This is a story about one woman he has repeatedly cheated on me with. And he has lied about her existence every single time. I confronted him the second he got home from work that day. I didn't yell. I just sat there and asked, "Who is colleague's name?" The color drained from his face. He started to stammer, to deny. But his eyes told me everything. Watching him try to construct a new lie on top of the old one, I had a crushing realization. He wasn't sorry for what he did. He was just sorry that the truth had finally come out. The cheating hurts, obviously. But the realization that he looked me in the eyes while I was crying, and fed me a carefully crafted lie to manipulate my forgiveness, that feels like a whole different level of betrayal. How do you even begin to trust someone after that? After the truth about his colleague came out, we had the biggest fight of our lives. But once the yelling was over and we were both just exhausted and crying, the conversation took a turn I should have seen coming. Because it's the same turn it takes every single time. He started talking about my anxiety. To give you some context, I've struggled with anxiety and panic attacks since I was a teenager. It's not just getting stressed out. It's a diagnosed medical condition. I'm on medication for it. I've been to therapy. And it's something I actively manage every day. He's known this since day one. He's held me through panic attacks and talked me down when my thoughts were spiraling. But when he cheats, that all gets turned on its head. He says that my anxiety is incredibly stressful for him. He told me that living with my panic attacks, with my constant need for reassurance, is exhausting. And then he said the words that have been echoing in my head ever since it's a turnoff. It just pushes me away. And sometimes I just need an escape. So that's his reason. That's the justification. The reason he slept with other women. The reason he repeatedly went back to his coworker. The reason he lied to my face for a year. Is because my brain chemistry is a burden to him. A part of me just implodes every time he says it. It feels like he's taking the most vulnerable part of me and weaponizing it to excuse the inexcusable. But there's this other, smaller, more insidious part of my brain that whispers, what if he's right? What if I am too much? What if my anxiety is so draining that no one could be expected to handle it without needing an escape? The thought makes me feel sick with shame. He is my best friend. I love him. And I genuinely believe he loves me, too. Underneath all this mess, there's the guy I fell in love with, the one who made me laugh and feel safe. I'm so lost. I feel like I'm standing at a crossroads. One path says that my mental health is the root of the problem. And if I could just fix myself, we could be happy again. The other path says he's a serial cheater who is cruelly and deliberately using my medical condition to manipulate me and absolve himself of all guilt. I look at him and I just don't know which one is the truth anymore. I just want the boy I fell in love with back. But I'm terrified that he's gone for good. Or maybe he never really existed in the first place. So, Reddit. I guess I'm asking? What do I do? Is my anxiety an excuse for what he did? Or am I a fool for even entertaining that idea?